On the Spot, the National Film Board's up-to-the-minute report on what's going on somewhere in Canada. This week and every week, NFB camera crews are on the spot where things are happening, recording the varied and colorful life of Canadians. Tonight, we invite you to join a Film Board crew on another location.
Here in a remote region of Canada, On the Spot this week visits a key base in the North American defense system. This is Squadron Leader Bill Lee for the National Film Board, speaking from an RCAF radar site. We've heard so much about radar and the amazing job it did during the last war. Now we're going to see how this development is helping to protect our country today. The threat of an air attack is of vital concern to all of us. Now, without some method of detecting and tracking enemy aircraft, our fighter planes would be severely handicapped. That, basically, is the purpose of the Canadian Radar Network. A web of radar stations, using the most up-to-date equipment available, is being woven across the nation. This unique-looking dome contains a massive antenna, or aerial, which rotates and transmits a signal over a wide area. Unknown aircraft are picked up by this signal, and their positions determined. Women play an important role in this radar defense system. RCAF airwomen have been specially trained to operate highly technical radar and communications equipment. We're now directly under the radar antenna, and this will give you some idea of the mechanism required to rotate the transmitting section. Well, this Squadron Leader John Mahoney, the senior controller of this radar station, I'm sure he'll be able to tell us much more about it. John, what exactly is the principle behind all this?
Well, as the antenna rotates through a full circle, all the while transmitting a radio wave in the form of a narrow beam. When this radio wave strikes an aircraft, it is reflected back to the station so that we immediately know the bearing the aircraft is from us and the distance away. This information is displayed electronically on our radar scopes in the reporting room. Would you like to come along there and I'll show you what I mean?
Fine, John, let's go.
The sweep covers a wide range and locates all aircraft flying within our area of radar coverage. As I mentioned before, the radio wave strikes the aircraft, is reflected back to the station, and reproduced here on the radar scope.
Oh, I see. Then the direction and position of the aircraft are recorded.
Yes. The speed and the height are also determined by similar means. Our scopes can be regulated to change the picture of the beam when received. Here you'll notice the beam is moving directly across the screens. Each screen is covering a particular section of the area, and the operators report their findings. Let's listen to one of the operators and hear what she is saying.
Initial plot 340 at 52. Strength 1. Charlie Able 92 is now 350 at 62.
Where do the operators pass their information to?
Oh, it's passed to the tote operators and the plotters in the plotting room. There it's displayed visually for the information of all concerned. All aircraft tracks are closely watched so that we can follow their entire progress.
Wow, what a setup.
Yes, people usually are impressed at this room.
Well, John, what exactly is the purpose of the room?
Well, this is the movements room, where information respecting the movement of all aircraft is displayed. On the far side, you see the tote boards, where we show the quantity, speed, and height of the aircraft. Down below, you see the plotting table. Operators working here receive the same information and proceed to place special markers on the table, necessary to the identification section. If you want to have a good look, why not go down to the floor?
That's a good idea.
Park on. Roger. Order.
I understand you get all your plotting information from the reporting room. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. It's passed to me, and then I plot this information on the board. As an example, this plaque represents an aircraft, and I move it along as I plot the aircraft in the direction it is flying.
Oh, I see. Well, what does this little green marker indicate?
That represents the identification of the aircraft. A green indicates that it's civilian, and a blue one would indicate
Baker
that
1 easy is an azimuth 105, range 75.
Roger, 105 at 75.
Well, how do you know what type of aircraft this is?
I got that information from the identification officer up there.
Roger, make King Yoke 427. Okay.
As identification officer, how do you go about identifying your aircraft?
We use flight plan information chiefly. That's the method where aircraft are required to report the time of takeoff and the time of landing and the direction in which they'll fly.
I said, well, what do you do if you can't identify the planes?
We then call the aircraft unknown, and if all other methods fail, we fly our fighters against them.
Uh-huh. Well, let's say the aircraft were flying out of your area. Would you notify the other radar stations concerned?
Well, not me personally, but our tellers. Excuse me. Identification officer. Yeah. Go ahead.
Tellers keep a close eye on the plotting board to note any aircraft that may be approaching the area of another radar station. All information pertaining to the planes is passed on to those stations. They note particularly the movement of unknown aircraft. Although the operators here receive intensive training in the many phases of radar work, they still take advanced classroom instruction to improve their knowledge in this technical field.
Meet me in the canteen after the lecture.
From various parts of your building. Now to get into the deeper part of your beam leaves the antenna at a rate of 186,000 miles per second, or 300 million meters per second. From there you can obtain your formula. Your 300 million meters is your constant factor. Your 300 million meters over your frequency.
Hi, do you mind if I sit down?
No, not at all.
Well, now, this is a very interesting place you've had here. We spent a lot of time around the radar operations building, but we have been wondering how you spend your off-duty hours.
Well, as far as sports go, we have indoor sports, basketball, volleyball, badminton, and outdoor we have skiing, skating, and the lake right here for swimming.
Good swimming?
Very good swimming.
Dancing is very important to a girl. Do you have any dances?
Yes, we have a lot of dances here. We have dances on the station, and when there aren't any, we go off the station to the surrounding communities. As far as movies go, we have our own station theater.
Station theater. Whereabouts you from?
I'm from Ottawa.
Ottawa? And you?
I'm from Alberta.
Oh, long, long way away. How often do you get home?
Well, I get home once a year on my annual leave. I usually fly home.
Oh, with the RCAF?
Oh, yes, usually in a North Star.
With a North Star. Well, how long have you been here?
Oh, I've been here about a year and 3 months.
And do you find the work interesting? And do you have a variety of jobs to do?
Yes, I find the work very interesting, and we have plotting.
Attention, attention.
And,
This is an alert. All airwomen on standby, report to operations. Out.
that means us.
I'm coming.
What's up, John? There seems to be some excitement around here. Well, we have a raid coming in. The scanners have reported 4 unknown aircraft coming in from the north. There they are on the table. Stick around and you'll see some action. Well, it looks like we're going to have the opportunity of being behind the scenes of a radar station when it's operating under raid conditions.
Stand by for initial plot. 350 at 120. Time 05. Strength 4.
This is the identification officer speaking. Call that plot. Yoke Baker, 5-2 able. This is unknown. Report carefully.
Search Patrol.
Go ahead.
This is the identification officer. Have you any further identification on our unknowns X1, 2, 3, and 4.
Negative. Advise you scramble your jet squadron to intercept.
Roger. Duty controller?
Yes?
Sector control advises us to scramble our jet squadrons against the unknown aircraft.
Roger.
Okay?
Jet squadron leader. Scramble your squadron on a vector of 270, make Angels 20 to intercept 4 unknown aircraft. Over.
This is jet leader. Roger. Will do. Out.
Stand by for a new initial. 240 at 60. Time 10.
This is your identification officer again. Make this our jet fighter squadron under control.
Roger.
Hello, jet leader. This is control. How do you read me? Over.
Hello, control. This is jet leader. Reading you loud and clear. Out.
Further move on unknown range. X1234. 340 at 100. Roger. Further move on jet squadron. 250 at 70. Roger.
Hello, control. This is jet leader. Have you any further information on the unknown? Over.
Hello, jet leader. This is control. Unknown now at 12 o'clock, 60 miles, crossing you port to starboard at 20,000 feet, strength 4.
Jet leader. Roger.
Unknown range now at 330 at 80. Roger. Jet squadron at 265 at 80. Roger.
Hello, jet leader. This is control. Unknown aircraft now crossing you port to starboard, 1 o'clock, 20 miles. Over.
Jet leader. Roger. Out.
Unknown tracking at height 25,000 feet.
Hello, jet leader. This is control. Unknown aircraft now at 25,000. Make Angels 26. Over.
Control from jet leader. Will do. Making Angels 26. Out.
Further move on unknown rate X. 1234. 330 at 80. Further move on jet squadron. 260 at 80.
Jet leader, this is control. Starboard onto 300, unknowns 12 o'clock, 5 miles.
Hello, control. This is jet leader. Roger. Tally ho. Tally ho. Unknowns identified as 4 RCAF Lancasters. Over.
Roger. Skip it. This appears to be a test exercise. Steer 120 for base. Over.
Jet leader steering 120 for base. Out.
Unknown aircraft now identified as friendly. Remove flags.
Roger.
Well, it's a good thing they turned out to be friendly. This was just another in a series of test exercises. But it does give you an idea of what could have happened if the unknown aircraft had been hostile. Radar stations such as these are on guard 24 hours a day in the defense of our country. This is Squadron Leader Bill Lee for the National Film Board, inviting you to be with us again next week for another on-the-spot Canadian story.